What's up, my fellow creepers and things that go bump in the night? Welcome back to another episode of Creature of the Night. I am your host, Toxin, your friendly neighborhood sinner. You should know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, ding that little bell to let you know every time I upload so you can keep up to date with me, guys. I apologize for keeping you waiting for this one, but my spoiler review is finally here. Ladies and gentlemen, Trap.
You're kind of dope, right?
A father and his teen daughter attending a pop concert quickly realize that they are the center of a dark and sinister events. Written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, starring Josh Hartnett, Ariel Donahue, and M. Night Shyamalan's own daughter, Silica Shyamalan. Guys, this film, I feel like, first off, is rated PG-13. I enjoy M. Night Shyamalan. I know he's kind of a hit and miss with his films, but this one, I did genuinely enjoy it. With it being PG-13, there's not a lot of kill scenes. Even the scenes that you see, it's kind of like blurred out, or if it's off screen, you kind of hear the aftermath. Like, for example, one person, he puts a couple bottles of oil in a fryer and it just heats up and explodes, and you kind of just see the oil burst out with the glass flying everywhere. So it's kind of like that. To me, this really wasn't a horror film. It was a thriller. It, like Long Legs, like Oddity, like Skinamarink, for me, it's more relying like on the event, like you being in that scenario with the person. This dad takes his daughter. She just wants to go see this pop star. He takes her to the concert. And from the trailer, we're already seeing that he's actually a killer. He's actually the killer through the whole thing. He's the person that everybody's looking for. And it being a M. Night's movie, I was waiting for the twist. What's the real thing? My theory was that he probably is a killer, but they're looking for another killer simultaneously, so they're going to end up facing off. Or maybe he wasn't the killer, he's actually a profile, and he's just kind of like, the trailer and everything was like misleading us that he's going to end up not being really the killer. He's actually the guy chasing the killer. The whole thing, the twist at the end of it was more not that he was the killer, but how he got caught. How this this random concert that wasn't even on the tour list, that how it got set up to be a trap, essentially. And it was pretty cool to see how he would do things, how he would want to leave the concert. Like, he did so much to where he gained the trust of the staff. He was manipulating the cops. He even made it backstage. He even, like, they had this the thing where Silica, she plays Lady Raven. So, like, they do this thing called the Dream Girl, where they bring up, like, a lucky girl from the crowd, and she gets to dance and sing with the pop star. So that was pretty cool. But he manipulated his way to get her up there so he could get backstage so he can leave. So I was pretty cool, like how the mind works, how he's a perfectionist and he just knows the ways around. The one thing that took me out of it was that, because it was just extra cheesy. My friend disagrees with me, but I'm like, Nightwolf, if you remember him from my other reviews, he actually disagrees with me. But I thought the dialogue when he's acting normal was a little too cheesy. I understand that he doesn't know what normal is because he's a serial killer. He even admits throughout the film that he knows he's weird and he knows what he's doing is wrong, but he just can't stop. It just brings pleasure. He doesn't want to stop and he can't stop. So, but the times that, like, especially nowadays, I don't really remember when this is supposed to take place, but with everything going on, all social media and all the technology, I feel like the staff and everybody would not be so welcoming and so openly inviting him to, like, bring him backstage. He gets his hand on the key card just because he's just so friendly and over the top. The dialogue is just that cheesy dad that's just trying to be cool. And I get that that's like a dad thing nowadays anyway, that they just come off as cheesy, but he's like purposely coming off cheesy. But it being a double-edged sword, I feel like Ted Bundy,
he's the GOAT,
was able to lure people into his tan Volkswagen Beetle just because he was so charming.
Tan Volkswagen Beetle, okay? Some of y'all drive Teslas, can't get no pussy, dorks.
And he just had that silver tongue to where he can manipulate people with just his words. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Like, you know, he's acting normal, but he doesn't really know what normal is, so he just comes off as cheesy. But, you know, anyway, but it's just cool to see that everything he's trying to do to get out of the building, and it seems like he's even willing to leave his daughter at the concert by herself so he can escape. So seeing it and seeing how, like, each attempt failing, it seems like the camera's kind of like closing in on his face. So it's kind of putting you in that moment, in my opinion, that it's like, okay, I'm starting to feel claustrophobic. I'm feeling trapped. I'm getting suffocating. I'm having trouble to breathe. So you're kind of like that at the edge of my seat. Like, it did get me like gripping like that just at those moments when you feel like, okay, like the end is near, like there's nothing else. He even got to the point where he was backstage after the Dream Girl thing on stage, that he eventually he's like fuck it, dude, I gotta do what I gotta do. He ends up whispering to Lady Raven, you're gonna get me out of here, this is what's gonna happen, or I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. But again, like the pop star thing, making it to the house, taking her, and then she's the one who ends up freeing because she has a wide following on social media, that she's like, hey, y'all need to look this is where this guy is at, let me know if y'all free him. They get him out. Yeah, and with the twist being at the end that because serial killers don't make mistakes, they're perfectionists, they don't leave evidence behind. But he slipped up, and it wasn't even him, it was his wife. You know your partner, you know the signs of something's going on with your partner. She follows him one day to a vacant house. She just has that gut feeling that something's wrong. He could be the butcher, essentially. And she leaves like the receipt of a ticket and calls the police, and that's how they set up the trap at the concert. So that's why everything goes down. So I'm like, okay, that ended up being the big twist. To me, I just left the theater kind of feeling unsatisfied. It wasn't a bad movie. The dialogue could have been better. Certain events could have been better. I wish that they would push the rated R thing. I just wanted more blood, more gore, a little bit. Like, I'm tired of these PG-13 rated things. But I get you got to cater to everybody. But still, I feel like they could have gone way further with this than they ended up doing. And I know a lot of people are saying too, is like, he's just making these movies now because his daughter actually made her director debut making The Watchers, and a lot of people hated that. They just said it was nepotism at its best. I haven't really seen any comments about this, just because his daughter comes out in it, and she actually sang and wrote all the soundtrack for this film, so I thought that's pretty cool. She's actually a singer, she's actually a songwriter, so I thought that was pretty cool. But people could say that that's nepotism at its best too, but you cannot tell me that, and you cannot sit there and lie saying that if we didn't have those connections that we wouldn't use them. So come on, guys, get off your high horse a little bit. But overall, guys, I'm gonna have to give it, I love M. Night Shyamalan, but for me it has to give it out of 6 out of 10 for me. I think it just could have been better. Josh Hartnett, I love him as an actor. He's very underrated in my opinion, and I wish I could see him in more. Like, I love him in 30 Days of Night. That's one of my favorite films that he comes out in. But I don't know, guys. It was just cheesy, but I can see why both sides it would be cheesy. The dialogue was kind of basic, and it just didn't feel real. And the people overly helping just didn't seem real to that. With everything going on nowadays, like, people are just not as friendly as they used to be. Just I feel like a lot of people would have been more cautious, and half the shit that he attempted would have failed. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know what you thought about the film when you checked it out, and let me know what you want to see next, guys. I know I've missed a couple reviews, but keep your eyes open. I am gonna get them. Yeah, like I always say, if you're not sinning, you're not having fun. Beware the moon, guys.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
What's up, everybody? Sorry I'm looking a little rough right now. I'm actually in the middle of editing a video, but I wanted to give you a quick heads up. I need your support, like you saw Bernie Sanders say. I am currently in a competition for Faces of Horror. We are competing to see who gets the most votes, to see who will go on a paranormal activity adventure with the great Kane Hopper. If you know him as Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. We actually get to go meet and greet with him and actually go through I'm not really quite sure where, but it's like a haunted area, and we get to explore it, and I get to upload the video and everything. On top of that, we're getting like $13,000 as well, so that's not too bad either. But I am leaving a link in the description below. If you just go to Faces of Horror, I believe it's faceofhorror.org/2024/ my real name, George, my name's Jorge, Jorge-Martinez. If you could just go give me a vote, guys. Again, I will leave it in the description below, so you can just click over. You do need a Facebook to vote. Just I need any support, guys, and if you could share and like you support me with my videos, I would appreciate your support now. Thanks, guys.